I don't like this. Tesla's yoke steering wheel. I don't really like the yoke thing. It just feels weird. I know visually it works better because like you can see the dash and all that, and I guess that makes sense when your car's all screens. But
can I just say,
yeah,
is it really that big of a deal? That's like I can see the dash like this, or I can see the dash with a thing going like this.
Yeah, see, mine is
it really that much of a difference?
Audi cockpit is like the screen is curved anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
it's
fits
designed
right
for
in
it.
there.
Yeah, so like
plenty of room.
Who was like, man, don't you hate it when you're turning and you can't see the speed? Like
the Tesla people are like,
Elon.
We know you're watching Netflix on here. We want you to see on screen even when you turn. So, anyways, yoke steering wheel. It's getting a little more popular. It's kind of like motorsports-esque sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like F1 inspired.
And it seems like F1 inspired, and it's like kind of a new thing. Apparently, it's not that new. So, in 1965, Mercury was testing out a yoke type of steering wheel. It was called the wrist twist steering wheel. So basically changing it all together. I'll pull up.
I don't know why. All I can think of when you say wrist twist, I just picture the worst, most gnarly car accident wrist brakes ever. Oh yeah,
that's funny. I pictured. Like, it sounds like a jujitsu move.
Yeah,
and it looks like that's what the steering wheel will do to you.
What? How do you use
so here's
that?
how it works. So this whole thing doesn't move. This is stationary. It goes up and down to like get in a good position for you. They had like armrests. So you'd literally be sitting like this, like you're sitting in a chair.
Okay.
And you would just twist your wrists to turn.
Weird.
Which I imagine has got to feel so weird.
So it's all like
turn
geared
a car
and
like
stuff
that.
in there. And then are they locked to each other?
Yes, they're locked to each other.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically those
are
things,
geared.
I imagine this was mechanical, right? At the time. So it was geared to the center, which just turns something. This just like turns, and it was double assisted. So it was hydraulic, and then they had an extra like system that powered it too. So it was like extra power steering.
Okay.
Like I know a lot of drift guys use like Prius electric steering assist stuff. So I imagine it was something similar. What's so funny about
I don't know. Nothing's funny about that. I literally
you're gonna say something dumb.
No, keep going. I just thought about how funny, and just doing it the first half of this podcast has been so far up to this point, and then now like we're like, so anyway, Mercury. So they had this
back to the real
keep going. Just keep cruising. I'm sorry. It was one of those like
on the last 15
don't
minutes.
laugh, and then I'm like, like sweet video in 4K,
it's extra assisted. It looks kind of funny. It's funny. Okay, so this was like the 60s.
Yeah.
So, you know, their marketing for it was like a lot of stuff was back then. You know, it was like super sexist. It was like their whole pitch was like, it's so easy, even a woman could drive it. It's like, whoa, dude, whoa, what's happening? So
that was their marketing campaign.
Yeah, that was a lot of what it was geared towards. Like everything I read about it was everybody mentioned how sexist it was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to make it like, you know, they need it easy and comfortable. That's all they all talk to. And they can't do anything. Yeah, so here's a commercial promo film, experimental wrist twist steering control. So here's a video. This is their advertisement, kind of proof of concept sort of thing.
Okay, so we can see how this thing works.
Yeah. We're still going to play that intro that I said. I'm like, this is how they talk.
100%.
So okay.
Yeah, we're proving grounds where some of the auto industry's most
the
tightly
music
guarded
too.
secrets are developed.
How you doing, sir?
New
Are you just coming in? Billy. Billy. Wow. Wow, this road sure is slow.
They may be installed in market research cars and driven by typical
I know, right? It's crazy that cigarettes are so healthy for you.
This Mercury Park Lane convertible is being used to test average driver attitudes to an experimental steering control system, which could replace the familiar steering wheel.
Could it?
Called the wrist twist steering control, it was developed for Mercury by ex-missile engineer Bob Rump, who is ready to send the car off with a driver who promises to be about as non-technical as they come. Getting in is easy enough. Elimination of the steering wheel means additional room that is mighty important. Although the appearance may seem startling at first, the wrist twist steering control takes very little practice to get used to. Two 5-inch rings turn simultaneously and are manipulated easily with one or both hands.
I don't understand the shape of it.
A comfort feature of the wrist twist system is the addition of armrests for both controls. Since only a light touch is necessary, the arms may rest solidly on the supports, just like in your favorite easy chair. Once on the road, other advantages are noticeable. The most obvious is improved visibility, both of the instrument panel and the road ahead. Most women will agree that parking is the most taxing part of driving, but not with the wrist twist. Still relaxed and comfortable, she literally dials her way into this tight spot.
Let's get through the whole
Good
thing.
parallel parking.
If it's-
The test trip is over, and she takes her last look at the wrist twist controls. Or is it? You never can tell what surprises automakers may have in store just around the corner.
Not where I thought this sentence was going to go.
Nope. Anyways, times were different. And
Okay, that's
oh,
weird. So
I didn't stop the recording.
I think it stops
It
automatically
stops.
if you do
Okay.
that.
So yeah, obviously I think we.
Did we ever start recording?
Yep.
Video saved. Yes.
Okay. So.
So like, why does it have? I don't understand the shape of like it, and then it has the circle on it, but they never seem to use the circle for anything. They were just like,
I think
doing
you
this
can
thing?
like hold it with your thumbs in it then. But see, it was funny while they were showing driving it, and then they were doing like hand over.
Yeah.
But,
her
like,
one
with the
hand
one
was
side,
going all the way
you know?
around,
Yeah.
and the other hand was doing this.
Yeah, it was like you're doing this, like with it, but on like the
Yeah.
other side, that was really
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it was odd. So like, it's got to feel weird to.
Yeah.
This is so natural, and maybe
Yeah.
just because that's what we're all used to.
Yeah,
That's kind of what
probably.
it's like with a bike. That's kind
Yeah.
of like everything
Yeah.
you ever do.
That's true.
That's just steering.
You know,
It's got to feel like an instinct though to do this with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
well, my first thought with it was like going fast into a corner with that would be brutal. Because the whole thing, like with the steering
You
wheel,
don't-
and you're going to a corner,
Oh,
you have
yeah.
something to kind of ground yourself to kind of like pull
Yeah.
yourself
That's
in.
a really
If
good
you're
point.
doing this, you're just like,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Especially with
slowly-
no seatbelts on your bench
Well,
seat.
you'll also notice there's no room for any airbag. So like you have perfect clearance to make your face meet the speedometer.
It just 1-2 punches you in the lungs.
basically. This goes right through. So I mean, this was
Gives
prior
you the
to
worst purple nurples of the century.
Yeah, I don't think there's seatbelts in here. I mean, this is prior to a lot of the safety stuff, but yeah, it's
That was their strategy. They're like, nah, you get in an accident, this will kill you.
yeah.
They're like, it's the
Humane with
fastest,
it.
most humane way to die.
And it's a convertible.
You're saying off the purple nurples. It's just like going back and forth.
I don't think we've laughed this hard.
Wow. Okay.
Take a sip.
I think we just learned why this isn't a thing.
It was sexist for a whole other reason. All right. So
man.
obviously this didn't go into practice. Nobody's
Yeah.
probably ever seen this. Like I hadn't seen it until recently. What I thought was interesting though was the designer of it. Not
Why was his face so funny?
It looked like his jaw got hit by
wow. Where's he gonna drive? All right. Oh man. Wow.
Oh, it was a matter of time before this happened. Oh man.
All right.
Just keep going without me.
The engineer, the guy who created this thing, he was an aerospace engineer who worked on nuclear missile defense systems. So he took a big step down from that to be like, let's redesign steering. You know,
And
he's
what
like,
he came up with was the wrist twist.
I know. Like the first, you know,
Not joystick, my guy.
yeah, one hit wonder over here with the just like designed our missile defense. And he's like, I can do anything. He's like, what if you turned like this?
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways,
In 65, that's
kind of
crazy.
interesting. Yeah, they brought him in to work on experimental auto designs. I mean, you got to think in the 60s, they were trying so many different things because cars
Yeah.
were still so new. You didn't have like
that's true.
your car has 4 wheels, engine roughly here.
Yeah.
Windshield,
Yeah,
side, seats, steering wheel, all the stuff that's like
Yeah.
a car is a car is a car kind of now as far as the basics go.
Yeah.
And then everybody customizes it off of that. But anyways,
Yeah, they were
Kinda-
trying. They
kinda
were trying
interesting.
some really wild, weird stuff.
Yeah.
in the 60s.
yeah, you see a lot of the weird car stuff is like kind of that era.
Yeah, it's
It
like
makes sense
because
because
you're
cars were
right.
that new.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like they had just developed like bigger engines.
It's like
stuff, and they
EVs
kinda
right
played
now.
with it.
They still have the same like most of the time 4 wheels and
Yeah.
sedan.
Yep.
Whatever,
Oh, yeah.
coupe or wagon
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
But then it's like
it's like you're not
engines
limited by
here,
stuff.
or they
So
have
why
these
don't you try
doors, or they
stuff?
have storage behind the seats here because
I
there's no
do-
drivetrain and like
Yeah, I do wish though that designers nowadays had the same like creativity as designers in the 60s, because you used to see like Jeeps had like a function that you could get a coffee maker installed in the front seat.
Oh yeah.
So you could literally have a thing that would grind your beans and brew you a fresh cup of coffee next to your steering wheel.
That's got to be such a liability though.
Well, totally.
That's probably
I know,
why.
but I mean, like at least it's like creative.
Yeah.
Another bad thing. In
Well, I know a lot of.
Yeah.
Actually, I think your Volkswagen might have this. I know mine does. The glove box can be a cooler.
Yep. Yeah, the weird Volkswagen
there's
feature.
AC vent opener in there. So there's weird stuff like that. I know like minivans have fridges built into them a lot of times.
Yeah. Or they have insulated compartments.
That one makes sense.
Yeah. And they have like, I know like Maybachs and stuff like that. They have, or Maybach have like champagne coolers and glasses and different stuff like that.
The Volkswagen one kind of seems like a hazard too. Can you imagine just driving here and it's like, oh, I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Let me get a brewski.
Yeah. Not a brewski.
It's like a Coors commercial. Coors Light. You can tell when it's cold. It's the blue can. Like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait, scratch that.
This episode is is full of great analogies and horrible advice.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, dude. That's super interesting to see.
So he had like
function that
22
way.
different patents for different weird stuff. This guy, Robert Rumpf.
Did any of his other stuff kind of catch on?
I don't know. I didn't really look into it.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. But pretty interesting. So the Tesla yoke isn't anything necessarily new.
Okay.
I would say the Tesla yoke is more practical than something like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
100%.
And what are we going to have eventually? Are we even going to have steering wheels at some point? If we keep going this self-driving stuff, like it's just going to be like, because I think there was a concept for some Mercedes like that, right? Where you got in basically to the back seat.
No,
and in front of you was just like a theater.
Well, then you saw the Lincoln, right? There was a Lincoln concept that has
Maybe
like
that's
a
what I'm
crystal,
thinking of.
and there's this big screen in the center
You know what's-
console, and then you have your crystal car, and you put it in, and then you like drag it to the location you want it to go, and then it'll drive that, and it'll do
Does
it.
anyone else just kind of see this going full circle back to trains?
What do you
We're
mean?
basically saying like, hey, don't drive a car anymore. Just get in and you'll end there.
Because it's like personal public
Kind of what a train
transportation.
does.
It's very
Right.
close though to like in the Jetsons, it was always like that. It was like take us to whatever, and they got in the car and there's like do a thing, and go whatever. I don't know why that was.
Wasn't
just
his
a higher
car his
version of Patrick
suitcase?
Star.
Wasn't his car his suitcase? Didn't he have like a suitcase
Yeah,
that like
that was.
opened up to the car or something, and then it like back in?
If we can find a clip, we'll put it in here.
Yeah,
That'd be funny. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. Of like, it's kind of losing the whole. It's like, okay, wait. Then why are we even
Why do we even? Yeah.
car? Why are we doing that part of it? But if you've got all these like,
There's a conspiracy theory. I could go down. Everyone go that way.
they're turning the car.
Don't drink the water, cars.